Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the LA Fakers back at it with our Week 4 review, along with our Week 5 predictions. It's James Jam here, joined by.
Jackafet 9.
Yes, sir. Been a good week for some teams, bad week for others, such as my Browns, but we'll get into that. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good overall. It was another W week for sure. And yeah, it was another interesting week in the NFL. And we're going to be reviewing it again for you guys.
Yep, let's get into it. Now, for today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to alternate on a review, and only one of us speak about the game to get through it a bit quicker. Let us know how you feel about it, but that way we're not just repeating the same stuff.
Yeah, we were basically doing that before anyways. Just the other person would add something.
And the first game was the Dallas Cowboys edging it out in a close one against the New York Giants. Now, in this one, we saw Dallas's defense pretty much dominating for the most part. The Giants couldn't seem to get much at all. They averaged a yard per carry against Dallas. And their receiving game wasn't much better aside from the start of Malik Neighbors. He started the season off on fire. He did get injured. It was a concussion. Hopefully he's good, but he is their offense pretty much. Overall, they were a good win for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott played well, and the defense was the main story, locking up everything but Malik Neighbors.
Hey, he's a tough man to cover. The Browns know that personally.
Everyone
they know that very well.
He might become one of the best receivers in the league. Him and Marv.
But yeah, the next game was the Atlanta Falcons beating the Saints 26-24. A shootout. Younghoe Koo with a classic game-winning field goal. He's extremely reliable. Overall though, both teams played pretty well, I'd say. Pretty good brand of football. These are kind of the contests you expect from Atlanta and Saints, and in fact just the whole NFC South, it seems. At least the three of the teams that are pretty decent.
Maybe Carolina with Dawson,
Maybe, I'm not even sure to be honest. But yeah, Atlanta just getting the job done,
As I
They
said,
was cooking for sure.
I called it.
Yeah, we get it, but you didn't get that many.
Alright, we'll get into that later.
But yeah, Tyler Algier, had a great game. Overall, the Falcons, they're still improving. They're still not quite there yet, I don't think, to be like, Super Bowl just yet. But they could for sure take their division. You never know. Nice.
Surprised the Falcons didn't run it more with how good Algier was playing, and then Bijan is a stud.
Tyler Algier is 7.5 yards per carry. That's great.
Yeah.
Great production. Drake London, and overall their receiver group's pretty good, I would say. Yeah. Good win for them.
The next game is Cincinnati managing to just outscore their former quarterback of Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers in a pretty high scoring game. Bengals, their defense was poor all year, and Carolina scoring 24. Andy Dalton played a pretty good game. Cincinnati, they're going to want to see the defense improve, but a lot of good-looking plays from the offense. It's looking like they might be getting back into form. T. Higgins played his first game back. He was a bit quiet, but you like to see him back. Burrow ended with 232, 2 TDs and a pick. Chuba Hubbard for the Panthers had another great game. Maybe he's going to be their actual running back of the future. He's looking really good early in the season. He put up 100 yards on 18 carries. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, not the most convincing win for Cincinnati, but they got it done. First win of the season for them.
They'll take anything at this point.
Yeah.
The next game was the Chicago Bears beating the LA Rams 24-18 in a close one. And yeah, I personally had the Rams winning this one, but you know, the Bears proved me wrong. Maybe that, you know, connection with DJ Moore and Caleb Williams finally showing out there. Overall, the offense looked a lot more improved for the Bears. Kind of started off slow, but it definitely got going. I mean, yeah, they're just gonna keep going. They have so many good weapons. It's insane. You know, DeAndre Swift, he had a nice game. He started the year off rough, but now he's starting to cook up. But yeah, good win for them. And maybe I was, you know, a bit too kind of on the Rams after that win in San Francisco. Maybe a bit too much, you know, belief, I guess, because it's still tough without like their two best players on offense, other than Matthew Stafford. Without Cooper Kupp and without Puka, it was just too tough for them, and they just couldn't quite get it done. But yeah, good win for Caleb Williams and the Bears. They moved to 500 in a tough division.
And the next game saw the Vikings start off dominantly in a divisional battle against the Packers. This game could be big towards the end of the season, we'll see, but the Vikings got up 28-0 as Jordan Love, you know, just came back. He was for sure rusty. He threw 2 early interceptions, ended with 3. Put up a Brett Favre type stat line with 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, and like 350 yards. Oh my gosh. I mean, a great win for the Vikings. In the division they're in, they're going to need to just keep winning. And starting off 4-0, one of only 2 perfect teams, is just a great way to start for them. Hopefully they can keep it going with Darnold. He's looking good. I don't think there's much to worry about for the Packers, though. Jordan Love, coming back from injury, he was rusty, but he looked a lot better in the second half of the game. So I think they'll bounce back next week.
Fair enough. But for the next game, it was the Houston Texans beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-20, getting that bounce back win after the game in Minnesota last week that they ended up getting just destroyed. They get a nice bounce back victory. You know, they got to keep going with it though. 3-1. They definitely had a great game. You know, CJ Stroud and that Texans offense. Nico Collins, I think, had 12 receptions, 150 yards. He was definitely, and a touchdown. He was definitely cooking up.
Yep.
For the Jags, a much more improved performance for sure than what we saw against the Bills. I mean, I think it came down to a last-second touchdown against one of the better teams in the league. You know, Tank Bigsby had an amazing game, by the way. 7 carries, 90 yards, and he might be their running back one for sure. But yeah, overall, you know, the Jags, unfortunately, close doesn't count. You know, they've lost by 4. It's an improvement, but they're 0-4, so
Only a winless team in the NFL.
yeah, only a winless team. And yeah, another loss. Who knows what's going to happen in the coming weeks, but still not great signs for the Jags. But the Texans take advantage of them.
And the next game was Joe Flacco coming in for Anthony Richardson and beating the previously undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Flacco, you know, Richardson got hurt early in the first quarter, but Flacco came in, did what he had to, gave the team some sparks, put up 2 touchdowns, 170 yards, just gave you what you needed. On the Steelers' end, pretty good game from Fields as well, especially in the air, 312, 1 TD. You don't get those performances from Justin Fields often, but you love to see it. And Pickens and Pittman, the 2 wide receiver ones, both had great outings, both put up 113 yards on the dot. But overall, a surprise upset, especially with Joe Flacco coming in and pulling it out. Richardson should be back soon. No, they're calling it day-to-day. He has a hip injury. So I'd bet that he's probably back next week, but we'll have to wait.
But yeah, moving on from that game, we go to probably the worst game of the week, and but a win is a win, and it is the Denver Broncos upsetting the New York Jets in New York in hurricane weather, or at least just a really rainy game. Um, and the big storyline, Bo Nix goes 12 for 25, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. It is crazy. Colin Sutton had all 60 yards, by the way. Completely insane what was happening out there. But yeah, it just shows how good this Broncos defense is. A-Rod had like 200 passing yards, yet only 9 points to show for it. And yeah, the Broncos defense is cracked, but a lot of problems for the Jets if they want to be as dominant as I think that they can be. I mean, you just can't. As much as I do love wins like this, and I 100% rather the Broncos be better than what I thought, or just win like they have been. Like for the Jets, at least, it's not good for them. They have to win these games. I'm glad that they didn't, but they have to win games like this. They can't just let guys like Javonte Williams. They can't let Cortland Sutton run all over them. Because, yeah, it was just not a good showing for them offensively at all. I think both defenses cooked, to be fair. I mean, allowing 10 points, it's definitely not the defense's fault, but only scoring 9, it's 100% all on that offense. And, yeah, I mean, the Broncos will take any win, for sure. I'll take any win. That's really all I gotta say about it. It was a really weird and just not a good game overall. Yeah, but a win is a win, so.
No! Alright, the next game is Baker Mayfield getting it done at home against Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bucs, similar to the Vikings, dominated early, put up 24-0, and the Eagles had a little fake comeback, but Buccaneers held on. That was a dot. That was a dot like Baker Mayfield was throwing. Had another phenomenal game. 30 for 47, 347 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the air. If he's playing this like this all year, then they're going to be right up there with the top of the NFC. Great bounce back game from him from last week. But the Eagles, disappointing. I mean, I said last week that I thought they were the best team in the NFC, and that's just a rough way to go down. Got to start the games better. They did get a blocked PAT recovered for 2 points, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. They didn't have what it took though to pull out a victory. Tampa Bay looking great early in the season, and that's a great win for them.
But moving on, it is by far the most exciting team of 2024, or just this season, through 4 weeks. It was the Washington Commanders taking on actually quite another fun team in the Arizona Cardinals, but it was ultimately the Commanders who absolutely dismantled the Cardinals, 42-14. Jaden Daniels, he's him. I mean, he was amazing. 233 yards, a touchdown. Did have an interception. Obviously, he's still a rookie. Doesn't play like it though. But just a great game from him overall. I'm pretty sure the big stat was that he's had more scoring drives, 23, than incompletions, which is 19, which is just insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's been like actually straight up the best QB this year. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, overall great win for them. They're beating the teams that they need to. The Cardinals don't have much talent, and on paper neither do the Commanders, but the Commanders just dismantled them. And yeah, they storm to a 3-1 record and on top of what was one of the, I guess, better divisions. Well, 2 great teams, supposedly great teams. And yet it's the Commanders who a lot of people, including me, actually not me, but thought that they were going to be the worst in their division. But hey, they might come out first in their division at the end of the year. But for the Cardinals, not a great game for them at all. This is a game that they 100% had to win. I mean, as I kind of touched on them, the Commanders, you know, they're doing all of this, but they don't even have that much talent, you know. And I feel like the Cardinals do match them for talent, but yeah, I don't know. They just couldn't get it. They were just flat, and unfortunately, you know, they just couldn't get the win.
49ers beating down on the New England Patriots. Not to surprise many people, as the 49ers are just a better team. Jacoby Brissett struggled a bit in this game. He did what he normally does, which is great when you have a good roster. You know, he'll help you. He'll play smart football and you'll win some games. But I mean, the Patriots are just not good. So yeah, the Patriots just couldn't make many big plays or plays at all. Niners, Jordan Mason was amazing yet again. 123 yards and a TD rushing. I mean, he's a great backup, and they'll continue to feed him until, well, even when he comes back. They found a great backup. Defensively for the Niners, their D-line was just destroying the Patriots. Bosa had 9 pressures and a sack. Forced fumble as well. Kevin Givens had 2.5 sacks. 6 sacks total for the Niners, and just in the end destroying a much worse team. Not a surprise, to be honest.
Fair enough. But going to, you know, a much more competitive game and an AFC West showdown, it was the Chargers taking on the Chiefs, but falling short. 17-10 was the final score. Chiefs winning the game. Overall, you know, it was actually a better game than I thought that the Chargers would play. They played a lot tougher. I mean, we know that they're going to be a tough football team, but you know, and this clearly shows it. They took the Chiefs to it. They probably could have won, should have won probably, but at the end of the day, the Chiefs are just the benchmark, and they get yet another win. Patrick Mahomes threw for a casual 245, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But on that, well, first we'll get to the touchdown, which is a beautiful pass, by the way. I don't know if you saw it. Beautiful, like 60-yard pass.
Yeah.
But obviously, the big news is the interception that he threw. Not only that interception, it was the fact that while attempting to make a tackle on a Chargers player, he completely tore Rashee Rice's ACL. I mean, if you see everyone on Twitter, you know, they're pretty happy with the news, considering of what he did. Obviously, I hope he's doing alright.
Maybe a bit of karma.
Wow. I mean, alright buddy, sure, whatever. I like to respect players around here. But yeah, moving on from that, Justin Herbert, he had a decent game. That injury probably still, you know, niggling him a bit. He's still probably affected by it. Hopefully he's alright, and the Chargers, you know, they can still take a lot out of this game for sure. They can still make the playoffs easily. I mean, they're only 2-2. It's definitely not time to sound the alarms. But the Chiefs, they're the benchmark, and they get yet another win. So,
on to a pretty sad topic, which was the Las Vegas Raiders beating my Cleveland Browns 20-16, I believe. You know, I've had a couple days to sit with the result, and it's just, the more I think about it, the worse it gets. I mean, Deshaun Watson played maybe the best football he's played as a Brown. A near
say that every week.
game. I know, but the last 2 weeks have been. Last week was good. The Raiders game was incredible. He was doing everything out there to make us win, and we still lost. I mean, we took away potentially 14, 21 points that we could have scored from just silly mistakes. Amari Cooper dropping what should have been an easy catch for at least a 20-yard gain. It was just threading the needle in between, like, quadruple coverage. and he just it comes straight off his chest into the DB, picked off. And then later in the game, Amari Cooper makes a 82-yard play, and it's taken back from Nick Harris holding. You know, DeJuan Jones missed an assignment as well that took away a potential touchdown. Just silly mistakes by the Browns O-line. Time to speak about the Raiders' offense, or the Raiders a bit. Their offense was amazing. It's particularly their running game. You know, they had 152 total team rushing yards on what was supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. Just, they were dominating our offense. The Browns defense. It was rough to watch. The Browns did pick it up a little bit towards the end, but silly mistakes kept them away from it. They couldn't. You know, they really shot themselves in the foot in this game. It's just a tough loss. And now it's going to make it a lot harder to make the playoffs, but I still believe.
Fair enough, but now... Oh my god, what am I doing? To another AFC North opponent, you know. Except that this time, you know, they're having a bit more success for sure. It was the Baltimore Ravens. Absolutely. Okay, jeez.
Right, he was great passing. Did you not see that?
Yeah. Enough. But yeah, the Baltimore Ravens absolutely dismantling the Bills on prime time. I mean, it was a big game. And the big players for the Ravens came to play. Lamar had a really nice game, 156 yards, 2 tutties. And Derrick Henry, they call him the king for a reason. At this point, he's a robot. He's 30 years of age, and he just had 24 carries, 199 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, bro is him. He had an 80 from their first play on offense. He had an 87-yard touchdown run. He was just dominant all night. He was completely destroying the Bills. He loves playing the Bills, it appears. He cannot stop eating against them, you know. But yeah, enough about that. Yeah, I just thought Ravens, you know, they're finally getting back to that team that we all knew that they would be. They started off the year slow, but now they're really getting going. And for the Bills, Josh Allen, you know, he did say after the game, if you are going to lose, you know, big, you want to lose big kind of at the start of the season so you can learn where you went wrong. And this is what happened, you know. They lost big at the start of the season, and now they will learn from that. And we know what this Bills team can be for sure. Yeah, they just, you know, they can't have too much of this, but it is early in the season. It's only week 4. They'll figure it out for sure.
The next game we have, you could argue, you know, is the worst game of the week, with the Broncos game, obviously. It was the Titans picking up their first win against Miami. And it was ugly. Will Levis got hurt, and then Mason Rudolph picked up the win. But both teams just couldn't generate anything on offense. You know, the best bit of offense we had was the Titans running game. Tyler Huntley, in his debut in Miami, put up 80 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. 12 for 20, you know, just wasn't able to have much of an impact. And, you know, it was not a good game. But the Titans managed to get their first win of the season, just get that done with. It's rough in Miami right now, so that's for sure. They need Tua back desperately. Don't know how long he's going to be, but their offense is just so much worse without him. It's clear how impactful Tua really was now that they are trying to win without him. They're looking like the worst team in the league without him. It's been ugly the last couple of weeks. But good win for the Titans, you know. That's all I have to say. Shout out to them.
But the final game of the week was the Detroit Lions beating the Seattle Seahawks 42-29 in what was a pretty great win for the Detroit Lions, giving the Seahawks their first L of the season. You know, Seattle finally play a decent team, you know, not just complete bums, and now, you know, they're getting bashed. But overall, great team, great win for Detroit. Jared Goff, he cooked. He was 18 for 18. I think it was 290 yards, or just 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. When would Jared Goff receiving touchdown is crazy. But it just shows what this team is. They're willing to, pull the rabbit out of the hat, have some tricks up their sleeves, and they cooked. And they're obviously such a tough team to try and stop. But for the Seahawks, they played pretty well overall. They just couldn't quite match it with Detroit. Detroit just ended up running all over them. But I mean, this isn't a terrible game by any means for them. They'll learn a lot from this game for sure. Gino played pretty well. But yeah, overall, a decent game. And a good way to kind of end off the week. Shout out to Kenneth Walker, by the way. Won me my fantasy game.
Yeah,
so, shout out to him.
And that's all we have for the review. I'll put up how we did with our last week predictions, what our record was. You beat me by 2 again. Back-to-back weeks, just slowly catching up now. And I'm starting to get a bit nervous that you might catch up to me next week.
You're nervous that I know more ball than you.
Man, we'll see. It's been, I was cooking you in the first 2 weeks, so.
I've been cooking you since.
Anyway, put down how you guys did in the comments. I saw last episode someone said they went 15-1. I'm not sure if I believe that. But put down your scores below just so that we can see how you guys are doing, compare you guys with us, and just see who's better. I don't know. I'm not very good at predictions. I don't think Jackafed is either. But put down if you are.
I mean, it's the NFL. It's sports, You're never gonna get all of them unless you do. Then you do. But yeah, it's the NFL. It's been a crazy year. Like, we can't forget that. There's been that many upsets. It's basically college football.
Yeah.
But all this talk about the predictions. Why don't we get into them with the first game, which will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. I personally, this game can definitely go either way. I think we can both agree on that. It's gonna be a good game. The NFC South is actually looking like a really decent division. And in this one, even though it is in Atlanta, I'm gonna take Baker and the Bucks to get it done. I think that they definitely got a great bounce back victory last week, I guess in week 4. And I see them continuing that. I don't think Atlanta is all there, but it could go either way. And yeah, I see Baker winning.
It's a tough game to predict, but I think I'm gonna have to go Atlanta here. It could go either way, as you said. Divisional game between 2 of the best in the division, in a really good division. But I just see that Falcons defense, that safety duo, making it tough for Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the rest of them. And I see Atlanta pulling out a close one. I think it's very likely going to be a very close game. But I'd say Atlanta are going to be the ones to pull it out. And we have the second game of the week, a London game. That makes it tough to predict. You never know what's going to happen. It's between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets. And I am going to pick the Vikings for, just... The Jets just looked pretty bad out there against the Broncos. I could see them bouncing back a bit, but the Vikings, they're undefeated for a reason. Their offense is looking really good. Their defense, you could argue, is the best in the league so far. And for that reason, I'm going to have to go, the Vikings. Everything points to them winning, but Aaron Rodgers is the type of quarterback where, maybe we can get a vintage performance out of him, and he can destroy the Vikings. Maybe they can pull out an upset, but I'm just going to have to go with what I know and the facts, and that's the Vikings are the better team.
Yeah, I agree with you. No, but I agree with you for sure. I agree with all of your points. The Vikings are definitely the better team, but you can't really underestimate A-Rod. I mean, even though he is like a 40,000 years old. He's still a really nice quarterback, you know. And obviously that that win that that loss against the Broncos was devastating. And yeah, I mean, they cannot have another performance like that, and I don't think that they will have a performance like that, but I still see the Vikings winning this one. You know, it is in London, so you never know, you know. Just because you're good now doesn't mean you're going to be fully fit and fully ready for game day. Maybe the Jets can turn it around. But yeah, I got Vikings in this one.
Hey guys, quick editor's note here from James J. Jan. I messed up when recording and unfortunately we lost the first half of it. So if you notice a change in tone, it's because the part of the video that you've seen and the part you're about to see were recorded on separate days. My fault, y'all. That being said, I'm gonna let you get back to the video.
But the next game is the Panthers and the Bears. And I mean, this is low-key kind of an interesting game. A couple of years ago, this was like the worst game of the year. Now, this could be somewhat interesting with Andy Dalton starting. But, you know, I think that Caleb Williams is finally starting to find his groove a little bit. DJ Moore and the boys are cooking up. And I just don't think that the Panthers defense quite has the answer for those offensive weapons. I mean, anything can happen. This Chicago team kind of seems a bit like of a wild card. They could be really good one week and just really bad the next. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Chicago Bears to beat the Carolina Panthers.
Hate to agree with you. I hope that we're not the same on every pick, but I have to go Chicago as well. They have, as you said, just so much talent pretty much everywhere in the field. I'm not sure that the Panthers can replicate that. Even with Dalton playing well, they just don't have enough for Chicago, to be honest. The next game is a divisional matchup. Lamar Jackson taking on Joe Burrow in a big rivalry in Cincinnati. And I'm going to have to take Baltimore here. Unfortunately for Bengals fans, I see them falling to 1-4. We saw the Ravens pick up a great win last week where they played maybe their best. And I think it's going to be, they're just going to start rolling. They're going to win 6+ games in a row. They're going to be tough to stop for Cincy. Cincy's offense looked good, but I mean, the Ravens defense is just one of the best in the league. And the Bengals defense hasn't looked very good. I'm not sure they're going to be able to stop Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson running, or even just in the air game. I think it's going to be a struggle for the Bengals team.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you for everything. The Bengals, yeah, their offense has been really good. I mean, as it should be. But yeah, their defense is complete Swiss cheese, and I think Derrick Henry's just going to completely run over that. And I think that the Ravens are going to win this. But it is a divisional matchup. Obviously, could go either way, but I got Ravens in a pretty convincing victory. But the next game is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Texans in Houston.
Ooh.
And I mean, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Bit of a bounce back game for Josh Allen. CJ Stroud just coming off of a nice divisional win. They're enjoying their time in Houston right now, a couple games in Houston. And, I'm going to take the Texans. I think that they can win. The Bills, I think, will play a lot better. I think will be improved for sure. But I don't know. Maybe that loss kind of rattles them a bit. Maybe they're going a bit of a losing streak. Who knows? But yeah, I got the Texans winning this one.
Of course, I have the Bills. I think they're one of the best teams in the AFC. Had a bad last week, but with Josh Allen on the center, anything's possible. Texans have a great team. Texans have a better team than the Bills, but I think it's just Josh Allen's season, maybe MVP season. I think he's going to have a nice game, and it's going to be a close win and maybe a bit of a shootout. 31-28, 34-28 is my prediction. the Bills taking it home. Next game
Gee
is
willikers.
another divisional matchup. It's the Colts in Jacksonville. Can Jacksonville get their first win? My opinion is that they can. Had them last week. They couldn't quite get it done. Almost pulled it out against the Texans. And the Colts don't know if Anthony Richardson's going to be playing or not. I don't really think it's going to have to, or it's going to matter. The Jags are going to win eventually. They're not an 0-17 team. I think early in the season, I think that they finally get it to go. It's been a rough season for them, without a doubt, but I think it's just they're finally going to get things to go their way in a divisional game that could go either way. Colts, to be honest, I'm not very high on the Colts. I just think that the Colts are still young, obviously. I think that this could be a game that they slip to the Jags.
I cannot believe it. I saw this game just before, when you were giving your predictions for Houston and Buffalo, and I thought, you know what? Jags are gonna win this. and I'm like, I swear to God, if this guy picks Jags. But yeah, I don't know why. I just see this as a Jags win, kind of written all over it. I do think if Joe Flacco starts, the Colts have a way higher chance of winning.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
I just do. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Anthony Richardson. He's a great young player, but the Colts just don't look as good. Okay. Just don't look as good with AR in there, and I think that, yeah. But I do have Jags winning. It is in Jacksonville. And yeah, like you said, they got to get a win eventually. They're not that bad. They're not that bad to be the worst team in the league, but that's the NFL, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just happen. And now the next game. It's a really great one. Get hyped, everyone. It is the Miami Dolphins taking on the Patriots in New England.
We will not be watching.
Excited. And, I mean, this can go either way because of how terrible both teams are, honestly. I guess I'm taking the Patriots. I mean, this is one where I just don't really know, nor really care about the pick. I don't have any heart or soul with this pick at all. I don't have any thought. It's just simply I'm picking the Patriots to win just because I think Jacoby Brissett's better than what a lot of people think. I don't know why. I like him, and I think that he can get the win. I think that Tyler Huntley will still struggle a little bit trying to fill in for Tua. Maybe he even gets benched for Skylar Thompson, and as they try to figure out how they're gonna manage this, no Tua situation. And yeah, no Tua equals no Dolphins. I have the Patriots winning in a close one. A good 17-13 game.
17 is very cheap. I'm not sure. Either offense
is true.
Capable of putting it.
I was gonna say 9-3, but
I'm gonna pick the Dolphins here, mainly just to be different, but also this game could go either way, to be honest. I think this could be a little bit of a game where no, I don't think this is gonna be good for anyone. Both offenses suck. I think the Dolphins are gonna get it done. They do have maybe they have a great talents at wide receivers. Maybe they can get loose on a play or two. Something's got to give though for both teams. I'm going to take the Dolphins here. The next game is the Cleveland Browns going into Washington to play the hottest young QB out there right now.
Oh.
The quarterback that has taken over the league in recent weeks, Jaden Daniels. I'm going to take the Commanders here. I'm so done with this Browns team. They just look horrible, to be honest. And I mean, they can't even stop Gardner Minshew. I'm not sure how the defense is going to do against Jaden Daniels, who's throwing for a 90 completion percentage in his last 2 games. He's been incredible. I will say the Browns have the players to potentially pull off an upset. Or I don't know if you call it.
I mean, it's an upset at this point.
Yeah, they've had the players to potentially get it done, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to pull it together. It's just going to be another week, same old Browns. So,
I did look at this game when you were doing your talk about how bad the Miami game was, and I was kind of getting conflicted, but I think I'm going to go with my head and say that Washington do win. On paper, Washington are just worse, but I mean, throw the papers out because Jaden Daniels in town, and he is absolutely cooking. Like, I could see the Browns easily just locking the Commanders receivers up, but I mean, can they lock Jaden Daniels up? And I mean, that offense is just non-existent. I expect the Commanders to run all over them, you know, with Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson, guys like that. And yeah, they should be able to cook up for sure. And yeah, I have the Washington Commanders winning. To the next game, you know, gotta soar high up in the mountains to Denver, Mile High City, in what will be quite an interesting matchup, both 2-2. And I'm conflicted, you know. Call me crazy, I'm conflicted. I mean, it's probably not that crazy if you saw Bonix's stat line. We find a way to win, yet, you know, can we keep it up? I'm not completely sure, if I'm being completely honest with you. You know, for my team's sake, I was actually going to pick the Raiders, like 5 seconds ago, but you know what? For the Broncos' sake, I'll pick the Broncos. We lose these games literally every year. I don't think we beat the Raiders in like 5 years, but hopefully we can break that streak. I feel like this team's a little bit different. They've got a little bit more fun. They got a little bit more fight in them than they did a couple seasons ago. I hope we can pull it out. I don't think it'll be an amazing offense. I think it'll be a complete defensive game for sure. No, none of the offenses can really get going, especially no Tay Adams, but hey, anything's possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if Raiders do manage to pull it out.
Yeah, the Raiders, pretty much the past couple years have just been the toughest team to predict, because they'll go out and beat dominant teams like the Ravens. They can beat elite teams and put 70 up like they did last season, but then they'll just lose to like the Patriots or someone awful, or the Broncos. Like, but that being said, I'm gonna have to pick the Raiders coming off such a good win without many star players and many players in general. I think they're gonna try and keep that momentum. I'm gonna have to go to the Raiders.
I'm like, I can't be too mad. Like, I was heavily considering going Raiders as well.
Tough game to predict with how good the Broncos defense is. You know, with an elite defense like that and a terrible offense like the Broncos have, a lot of the games are going to end up being close, like the Jets won, you know, 1-score games. But I have the Raiders pulling it out and not low score.
There's a chance we blow them out, just like we did Tampa. So you never know. Moving on to the next game for you. I mean, yes, I just did that for you, but...
Moving on to the next game for me is the Arizona Cardinals in San Francisco against the 49ers. I'm going to have to pick San Francisco. I don't think it's very crazy of a pick, San Francisco, with a solid performance against the Patriots. Did what they had to do. Everyone knew they were going to win, and the Cardinals getting destroyed by the Commanders. Niners are just one of the best teams in the NFC. That's undeniable. They've shown that year after year, and I think they're going to show it again here today. Cardinals might start off strong, you know, put up a challenge early, but then they're going to pull away later in the game, as they seem to do. And the 49ers are going to pull it out.
Yeah, I see the Cardinals having a bounce back performance after being flat all of last game. I see them getting a really nice performance in, but ultimately they just do not have the star power. They don't have the talent. The San Francisco 49ers. They don't have the experience nor the coaching. But you know, it could go either way. These are divisional games. We keep saying that. We probably said it like 40 times this video. It's a divisional game. I do expect 49ers to win though. It is in San Fran as well. Yeah, give me Niners. The next game, it is the Rams taking on the Green Bay Packers in Los Angeles. Kind of an interesting, you know, matchup. By last week, I thought that the Rams had it all figured out. You know, maybe they could finally win without Puka and Cup, but you know, that's easier said than done. They did not win, and I don't see them winning again. I see the Packers winning this one pretty comfortably. I see Jordan Love definitely having a bounce back game after looking doing his best Brett Favre impersonation.
I actually think this could go either way. It's kind of tough for me to pick, but the Rams are pretty injured. John Love, 0-2. I think it finally switches. They're going to pull it out. It's just tough for the Rams. Just a disappointing start to the year, and I think it's going to continue. Packers are trying to compete for the division. Almost made a comeback against the Vikings. Jordan Love started slow, but he got it together a bit in the second half. I think he can maybe continue that and have a good game against the Rams, and I think they're going to pull it out. The next game is the Giants in Seattle against the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks.
Yay!
They've had some tough losses. The Seahawks, the Giants had an amazing win against the Browns a few weeks ago. But I think we're seeing the Browns just suck, and maybe it's not them. Malik Neighbors, good chance that he misses this game potentially. And without him, I'm not sure their offense is going to be able to do much of anything. He's having a massive impact on that team, but without them, it's going to be a struggle against a good Seattle team. The Seahawks are just better. They're going to have a pretty fairly easy and quiet win.
Yeah, I do have Seattle winning as well, a bounce back victory. Last week wasn't perfect from them, but it was nowhere near terrible. And yeah, that's exactly what the Giants are. Terrible. They ain't good. As you said, you're kind of bashing your own team. Maybe it was more a Browns thing and not so much a New York thing. Not so much a Giants thing. But yeah, they just haven't looked amazing. Their one offensive weapon, it appears their one offensive weapon is injured, and I just don't see where they can pull this victory out. Seattle playing yet another home game. They've played so many home games, it's insane. It's on easy mode for them. They got like the easiest schedule. But yeah, I see Seattle winning this one pretty convincingly. Nice quiet game for them. A nice 27-3 game. And then moving on, we have quite an interesting matchup. It is the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers on primetime, by the way, at Pittsburgh. Should mention that. I mean, yeah, Pittsburgh, they've at times struggled to score, points, but their defense undoubtedly has been one of the best in the league, if not the best. I know you hate whenever I praise them, but it has probably been the best in the league. And I mean, but how do you stop this Cowboys offense? Who knows? I think that Dak and the boys can go, and them boys can go off for sure. And I see the Cowboys just squeaking out a victory, in prime time.
Yeah, I agree that the Cowboys are going to be able to pull it out. The Steelers have been impressive, as much as I hate to say it, but they're coming off a tough loss. It is in Pittsburgh, so there is always a chance that they pull out another just Mike Tomlin masterclass. They just somehow win against a team that you wouldn't think they'd win against. Seems like a common theme for Mike Tomlin's career, and I'm gonna have to take the Cowboys.
Oh my lordy.
I don't know if that was my favorite team. The Cowboys, just a better team. They should be competing for the NFC. It's, you never know with the Cowboys, but their offense looked great last week, and it's gonna be tough game for the Steelers to win with the offense. Fields look pretty good, but it's going to be tough to replicate that against the defense, the edge rushers, the DBs, everyone that Dallas has. It's a great defense. On to the final game of the week, Monday Night Football. We have the New Orleans Saints against the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I have the Chiefs winning here. Shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. The Chiefs, the best team in the league. They've shown that the past 2 seasons. It's going to be tough to be stopped. It'll be interesting to see though if the offense takes maybe a little step back without Rashee Rice's, next week. And the Saints, have had some good performances. Yeah, Chiefs offense is great though. They have an underrated defense, and I think that they can pull it out, just like they always do. You know, late in the game, maybe they get a call that maybe was deserved, maybe wasn't, and then they end up winning the game from it. So I have Kansas City winning against the Saints.
Yeah. I too have Kansas City. You know, I did say that. You know, New Orleans are kind of come back down to earth, and I think that shows. They've been really good this year. They've been competitive, which is, I think, like, for New Orleans fans, that's all you'd want for sure. Is they're in every game. They've been in every game. I expect them to do pretty well overall, but I mean, yeah, the Chiefs in prime time, referees. I mean, how are you supposed to stop them? I'm not sure. I mean. Yeah, no Rishi Rice, like you did say though. But, you know, and you did say in your reviews whether they will go with Travis Kelce a bit more, and I think that they will, and they kind of have to, you know. Yeah. He's been a non-factor, and yeah, I mean, it's about time he showed up. Yeah, that's all the predictions. It's all done. Also, you know, before we forget. The teams on the bye currently, who have the bye, the first bye of the season that is, are the Lions, Chargers, Eagles, and Titans. All with the bye this season, or this week of this season.
You know, it's that time of the year. Can't wait for the Browns bye week.
Thank you guys for watching. You know, we hope you liked, and we hope you enjoyed this video. Well, yeah, give us a like, you know, subscribe. We desperately need it, you know. We see you guys out there supporting us every week, you know, and we just want you to keep going, but we just want to keep going for sure. You know, is there anything else you'd like to say, James or Jan?
Shout out to everyone that liked the short. We got like 1,000 views. That's crazy.
Yes.
Love the support.
Oh
Hopefully we can get another video like that one day.
yes, sir. Alright. Goodbye, guys. See y'all later.
Alright, we have the it's not the final game of the week, it's the second game of the week. Let me restart. Alright, and we have
Well,
the
I mean, it's the final... Alright.
It's the
final game of the video.
That's facts.
No, but... Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Stop. I'm trying to do my prediction.
Do it!
You got the next game.
Do I? No, you got
Yes.
the next game. I did
No.
Jets Vikings first. You did it second.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew that.
What?
It's just this guy just texted his teammate.
What did he say?
He said, "Sorry, boss, messaging baddie."
Ah.
So-
Hey, let him go. Yeah, that's all I got.
Fair enough, but now, oh my god, what am I doing? But yeah, to a different, to the, hold on, am I doing the Ravens? I feel like I skipped. This time, you know, they're having a bit more success for sure. It was the Baltimore Ravens, absolutely. Okay, James.
Right, he was great passing. Did you not see that?
Yeah.
deserves that.
Enough. And this is what happened. You know, they lost big at the start of the season, and now they will learn from that. And you know, we know what this Bills team can be for sure. But
Give me a minute. I just want a minute to log in.
bet.
Oh my gosh! Yes!
Bang! One of them, the bum cracks guy who we played last night, by the way. In the
Didn't he
failed
say
recording.
something then as well?
Yeah, he said okay, and then and then he said okay, nerd emoji. Carry. He just told his teammate he's carrying him. My fault.
I didn't even do anything to get him upset. I killed him, and then he started great passing. It's crazy, but in frick,
Sure. He just told his teammate he's gonna carry him, and now his teammate's against him. That's so funny. Oh my, what is happening?
Why is he upset at his teammate? He should be
His
upset at me.
His teammate made a point saying he was like carrying. He said carry, I guess. He didn't even really say anything. He just said carry.
Well, I'm
But
gonna
now
report Poppet
Poppet's-
anyway, even though he's trying to play for us.
But
Because this is.
yeah, for
I wanted
teaming.
to beat him and talk trash, but I can't really do that because he's on my team.
For real. Bumcracks is kind of cooking.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's
Oh my
gonna
God.
beat us.
He's 3v1ing. He's 3v1ing us right now. Do you just want to scrap this game, by the way? They're just going at it. The Bumcrack.
We're
Oh my
gonna
God! Now
lose.
he said, "I don't need you, bro," and now he's playing. Oh, wow. Bro, you just want to lock in, and then we can do this Dolphins game like a different game, bro.
Go.
Whoop. You.
Oh no!
Oh. No.
He said okay.
Man,
He
don't
hates-
talk like you
because
weren't on
I
our
killed
team.
him. Now he's. Nah, he's soft. For real. He is soft as hell. I killed him twice.
He
He's gone
is.
mad both times.
He is the softest player.
Like it's part of the game, bro.
Come
Come
on.
on, man. We're the Fakers. Don't be toxic to us. Or you're gonna lose again.
Bumcracks said nice. That'd probably be how the game ends. Pop it.
What a
No,
save!
you ain't winning the game, gang. You ain't winning the game, gang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This can go on the bloopers.
Yeah, Bumcracks. I don't really feel that bad. Like, he's been through a lot, but he also started a lot.
Yeah, it's his fault. Everyone's arguing, and he started trying to play for us. Like,
Pop it. Bumcracks is chill.
Ah.
Well, Bumcracks started it, but he's also played for his team. Hoppet, I don't respect because he played for his team and then he got called out and then started playing. Or he
and
started
he's the
playing
guy
for
that
us,
started
got
the
called
beef with
out.
me. But
Yeah, I'm not sure who started the beef.
he was
I just
spamming
know
great pass when I
Bumcracks.
killed him, and they scored from it. I was trying to play the game, you know. And I killed him again, and he started saying, "Okay, okay, okay." Well, he might have just said it once, but soft. And he nice shotted me or something. I think so. You got it.
Bumped him.
Ah!
What I say?
You.
Ow.
Or you.
What?
Damn, they try and passing plays? I thought they hated each other.
No, they don't. They like each other now, I guess. Right there.
Hell no.
Whoa.
I hate how long this overtime is.
I know.
Uh-oh. This could be bad. Okay, look.
No.
Nice.
Oh, I missed the post.
Oh!
Oh!
He's got it. Uh-oh. No way! I'm leaving the match. I don't want to hear anything.
Cooked, they said. Oh, what?
Who said it?
No, what is it? It was Bumcracks. Man,
He was on our side. I don't.
I want to say,
He was-
Papa, you're supposed to be on our team.
Yay, we're done.
Yay!
Let's go. Whoop. Fastest goal wins though.
Bloopers. Ah.
Oh,
There's no way he
how about
misses
this
yet another
Bloopers?
one.
Come on.
Wow.
That shows
I
who the
really-
best Rocket League player is. Oh my gosh, I had a little score. Wait,
Yeah, I know, I did nothing.
same as what you do most games.
Okay.
I'm just speaking the truth, you know. I saw.
Last I checked, it was tied. Last I checked, it was tied.
That
1-1.
does not count.
I think it does. Just because you left and there's still one